Alright, welcome to TREV Ministries, where truth is revealed, explained, and visualized. I'm back again. Welcome to T-Reacts. So I will be reacting to some more videos today. I hope that you would learn something new. Maybe you will enjoy what's being discussed and the videos that I get to watch as well. I'm really happy that you are continuing to send a lot more videos for me to react to. I know it's been a while. I know it has been a while. So I'm trying to make up for lost time. Of course, gentle reminder, don't forget to subscribe and go to the community tab as well if you would like to share all the videos that you have. That's basically what's here. So if you would like to send it, whatever video you want me to watch, as long as it's, you know, appropriate per se, don't be afraid to send that for me. So we're going to go straight into our first video. That is the video that was sent to me. The man faces a penalty for violent murder, and of course the question that was asked is, what does the Bible say about the death penalty? Is it something that's okay, allowable? Are there instances where it's allowable? So we're gonna watch the video. I'm trying to decide whether I should react after the entire video plays or whether I should react during the video. So I guess you could let me know which one you think is better. I think what I would try to do is react during the video. So let's get right into it.
It's begun for the man who pleaded guilty to drugging, torturing, raping, and then killing two gay men in Tampa. Stephen Lorenzo said he will not argue to spare his life this week, but he's pushing back against parts of the story he claims prosecutors got wrong. ABC Action News reporter Jada Williams spent the day inside the courtroom. She has the latest on this full day of witness testimony.
Life or death? That's what's at stake for Stephen Lorenzo.
The state of Florida stands before your honor today to humbly ask you to impose the ultimate, the harshest, the most severe punishment allowed by the laws of this state.
A plea for death, drawing support even from Lorenzo himself.
I'm 64 years old. I could be on death row for 10, 15 years. The comforts that they get in the death row are a lot more comfortable than it is in the federal system. You get your own private cell, you get your own TV, you get your own computer, you get all this stuff.
Defending himself,
That's messed up. I mean, it's not messed up in a wrong way, but it is something that a lot of criminals actually rationalize in their mind. That I'm out here as a law-abiding citizen. I am homeless. I don't have any money. I could barely get any food. But I know if I commit a crime that I will be able, yes, I'll be incarcerated, but I will get food, I'll get a place to sleep. Can you imagine how messed up it is that someone that, you know, there are situations that are so bad that prison is better, you know? That's really sad. And he's right, actually. There are a lot of individuals that share that same rationale with him. Boy, that's just, I wish no one had to be in such abject poverty to even consider criminal activity as the best way out. It doesn't make it right. I'm not in support of whatever he did or whatever any criminal does, but it's sad that there are situations that make you consider criminal activity as the only way out. Yeah, that's pretty sad. So
Lorenzo said he only wants to tell his version of events.
That's a false claim. They're twisting the facts. They're twisting it all around. And you know, that's their job to do it. That's fine. But I'm not going to counter it because I want this court to make me think I'm the worst thing on 2 feet.
Nearly 20 years ago, on back-to-back nights, Jason Gelhaus and Michael Wachholtz disappeared from a Tampa nightclub. Scott Schweikert testified Monday about his involvement in the two disappearances.
We already determined that we work well together with using another individual from that prior experience that we've already discussed. And we wanted to see if we could go to the next step, if you will, which would be murder.
While other victims of Lorenzo recalled what they consider scary encounters with him.
I would just recall his face, he didn't look the same. Nothing behind his eyes were dark. His face was contorted, which further panicked me.
Schweikert took a plea deal in 2016. Lorenzo pleaded guilty in December, adding that he believes Schweikert's account of the events is wrong.
As of right now, sentencing is expected to last through the end of the week, but it could be earlier. There is no jury, only the judge who will decide if Lorenzo gets life or death. In Tampa, Jada Williams, ABC Action News.
Yeah, okay. That was a pretty short video. There's a couple of videos that have been sent to me that are like 17 minutes long, 34 minutes long. I'm not sure how I'm going to react to them, but you sent it, I react to it, we discuss it, and that's it. So yeah, I wanted to get that video out of the way. Boy, I mean, first of all, what he did, I can't remember.
Guilty to drugging, torturing, raping, and then killing 2 gay.
Right, drugging, raping, torturing, and killing. Yeah, that I think that could deserve a death penalty in any book. But anyway, let's go to the Bible now. What does the Bible have to say about it? I've you know, again, what I try to do is I like blind reactions, so I don't have anything prepared. I just share what I know, what I've remembered, and from that, you know, we'll be able to you know, discuss it and see what is the issue surrounding the death penalty. What does the Bible have to say about it? So, of course, we could start with right, okay, great. So you could see the Bible. So the first thing that came to mind here would be Romans 6:23, right? The Bible is very clear that the wages of sin is death. So really and truly, any sin deserves death. Any sin, every sin deserves death. The reason I say that is because that's what Christ paid for us. He paid in death. It doesn't matter whether it was a white lie, stealing sugar, or one cookie as opposed to robbing an entire bank. Stealing is stealing. It's wrong. It's sin. The wages of sin is death. So on one hand, I understand that really and truly every sin should be punished by a death penalty, and it is being punished by a death penalty. But Christ paid that death penalty for us. You understand? So even so I think it's important, you know, to always try to bring about the plan of salvation in almost every single topic. And I think that's a valuable thing as well. Any individual that has ever done anything wrong, Christ has already paid the price. But we now have to accept him as our Lord and Savior. We have to be the ones to accept the death that he has already died for us. We don't have to die that death anymore. All right, so it's the good news, and that's what the gospel is all about. Now, in terms of the death penalty, of course, you know, there are a lot of things that we could discuss. For example, I'm thinking of Romans chapter 13, and it's from verses 1 to 5. Basically, the essence of this passage here is that God has indeed given governments a certain amount of authority, a certain amount of power, so that they are able to punish those that break the law. All right, and I don't want to go into the entire text. I don't want to make the video too long, but it is very clear. For example, it says here, there is no power but of God, but the powers that be are ordained of God. You see that? So really and truly, the only individual that has power is God. But he has, in a sense, delegated authority to more immediate, to individuals that are closer to us, and it will be easier for them to manage us. So he has basically passed on responsibility through parents and teachers and pastors, principals, the government, so many different individuals that have a level of authority given to them by God that is supposed to, in a sense, just govern society, right? So that's the point here. It says, whosoever resisteth that power, resisteth the ordinance of God, right? And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So disobeying the laws of the land, as long as it's in harmony with the laws of God, if you disobey the laws of the land that are in harmony with the law of God, then you are indeed resisting the ordinance of God, and as a result, you should receive damnation. Then Paul goes on to explain then that the rulers here are a terror to the evil works, and that's what they're for. That's the purpose of having a ruler, to be able to ensure that the evil works that are being done in a society are being dealt with appropriately and as quickly as possible, as fairly as possible. That's what rulers are for. It's quite ironic that we live in a society where there are so many godless governments and so many godless laws today, and you know, we have really kicked God out of society as far as I'm concerned, and that's unfortunate, but that's a reality. And at the same time, if we were to have a society without law, it would be complete chaos. So what I'm saying is that while we may not, and I say we as in just humanity on the whole, while we may not acknowledge God as our authority, I find it quite ironic that we use his style of government sometimes. We use different versions of his law to be able to govern society and not give him the credit for it. You know, I find that to be quite ironic. If we were to look at all of the laws of the land, I will not be surprised if those that are in harmony with Scripture can actually tie back to the 10 Commandments. So whether we refuse to admit it or not, a lot of the laws, the civil laws that we have, they really fit well with at least the last 6 commandments of the 10 Commandments. So the law is important, and the law is something that is necessary for the stability of any society. Okay, so the rulers are supposed to be a terror to evil works, and it says here that the rulers are considered ministers of God to thee for good, or to us for good, right? So if you do good, then that's fine. You will never be well, again, I cannot even say that anymore, because there are so many laws that are against the principles of the Bible. So I cannot even make that general statement. But what the text is saying is that the purpose of God giving authority to rulers is so that they can praise the good and punish the evil. That's my point. Yes, it is true that the standards are confused today, but we're just looking at the text. It says here that if you do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. So it's clear that the authority that God has given to governments involve the use of a sword. Now, the sword here would basically be a reference to punishment, right? To discipline. Again, I don't want to really discuss the extent of the discipline, but I believe that the sword represents everything that the state does to punish evil, or to punish anything that breaks the laws of the land. That's what I believe the sword represents. So whether it is just 1 day in jail or the death penalty, I believe all of these things fit under the representation of the sword. They do not bear the sword in vain. They are using it, and they're supposed to use it to punish evil. So I believe that the Bible is in favor of the death penalty, but I think it only, of course, it must match the severity of the crime. What I'm thinking of, I believe it's Exodus 21. Like, one of the things I wanted to say as well is that you'd realize that a lot of the things, even in God's theocracy, you'd realize a lot of the things were punishable by death, right? There would be a stoning that would take place, and in most instances it would be death, right? So even God was in favor of the death penalty, and I mean, I can't really argue against that. I'm not sure if you have any evidence or anything that you've come across that would change my mind from the Bible, I have no issue with that. Share it with me. Again, just drop it in the comments down below, so that I could learn from you as well. So I think this is the passage I was looking for. Basically, the point here is that the punishment must match the crime. Okay, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. If a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. Again, that's what I'm seeing here. That's the principle, that the severity of the punishment must match the crime. Okay, I think that's the point here. Again, I don't want to go into what it could literally mean in the Israelite context. We're not in the Israelite context. So the principle, I think, still stands today. We can also look at, for example, the 40 stripes save one, right? There are a couple passages on that. Yes, okay, so I found it. It's actually it's Deuteronomy 25, right? It says here, if there be a controversy between men and they come into judgment, the judges may judge them. Then shall they justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. By the way, this is the purpose of any and every justice system, is to justify the righteous or to vindicate the righteous and to condemn the wicked. If there is any system that does not do that, it is not of God. I think it's important that you understand that. God is a righteous judge. He's a just judge. All right? And this is what the justice system is supposed to be for, nothing else but to justify or to vindicate the righteous. In other words, to clear them of all accusations and to condemn the wicked appropriately. It says here in verse 2, and it shall be if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten. Right? That implies that there is investigation. Why? Why is that wicked man worthy to be beaten? It is because there is evidence that he has done something wickedly, right? The judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face according to his fault, by a certain number, according to his fault. Then it says 40 stripes he may give him and not exceed. Lest, and this is the rationale here, and this is why I love the principles of the Bible. Lest if he should exceed and beat him above these many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. What I want you to understand here, and I think that's a beautiful principle even for the justice system, is that despite the level of punishment God allowed in the Israelite system, there was a limit even for the judges themselves. The reason why there was a limit for the judges themselves, or for the prosecutor, I guess, that would be the word that fits there, it is because God is not only concerned about the wicked man who has done wrong, but he's also concerned about the relationship between humanity. So that if the punishment is too severe, according to the text, it says, thy brother should seem violent to thee. In other words, it's almost like he loses his humanity. He looks like an animal to you because you have beaten so much. There's just no regard for him as a human being. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. And, you know, if you look at the crimes that are being committed today, a lot of individuals, out of the hatred and the anger that they have against that criminal and against what they've done, we tend to want to treat them like animals. We want to beat them like animals. We want to destroy them and make them feel, you know, the pain that they cause to other individuals, you know. So I love the fact that even God himself has a limit, even to those he gave authority to punish. Only God is able to fully punish out of love. That's why there must be a limit even for human beings punishing other human beings. There must be a limit, right? So I think that could possibly be a counter argument to the death penalty, because I'm sure there are many individuals who believe, I've come across a few of them, that no human being should take life at all. You know, so that's another point of view on that discussion. So anyway, so I'm done for now. It's my personal belief that death penalties are okay as long as it is appropriate to the crime, as long as the trial was fair, the investigation was fair, it was just. I'm fine with it, and I believe that the Bible agrees with it. Yeah, that's it. So that's my reaction. Boy, that's crazy. I'm seeing like almost 20 minutes here to a 2-minute video. So I just wanted to show you that the Bible really has something to say about everything as far as I'm concerned. It might not spell it out, it might not be extremely specific, but I believe that there's always a principle in the Bible to govern all our affairs, all the affairs of life. So yeah, I think the Bible has the final say here. It means that there's a practical lesson for us as well. What is a practical lesson? I think that we should never punish out of hatred. We should never punish out of anger. We should only punish out of justice and nothing less. Justice should always be fair in that it justifies or vindicates those who did not do anything wrong, the innocent and the righteous, and the justice system, or whatever judgment is being demonstrated, it should condemn the wicked fairly and appropriately. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm done for now. So if you have any other videos that you would like me to react to, please don't be afraid to send them. I'm trying, like I said, I want it to be a blind, genuine reaction, so I don't vet. So I would like you to be, be discreet in the type of videos that you send, so that, I could know whether I can allow this on my channel or not. So I hope you learned something new. Maybe you disagree with what I said. Again, feel free to let your thoughts be known. Drop it down we could continue this discussion. You could correct me on certain things that I did not say correctly. I'm just sharing my opinion and what I think the Bible has to say about it. So thank you so much again for those who you watched the video. I really appreciate it. A gentle reminder, make sure to like the video, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, and until the next time, TREV Ministries over and out.